Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Con. Welcome back to MotoGP 18, where I had a superb debut in the MotoGP class in Qatar. Can he back it up by going even one step higher on the rostrum round the Tomás de Hondo circuit in Argentina? As before we go there, we got some bike development to do, and I think we're going to go for the brakes. So we're going to try and improve the braking, as there's always a weakness, and as you can see, prices are now skyrocketed in the MotoGP class. So prevent the brakes from knocking, increase the brakes power. I think it's just increase or decrease the lock-in potential. So there we go, that's our first upgrade of the season. So there goes Mayo then for the first of two possible qualifying efforts in qualifying one. That's if he survives. Not the greatest first corner either. There's a Tomás de Hondo circuit, even trickier in Qatar. So many tight corners, some long radius corners as well. They're just so difficult to spot right. Especially going onto the back straight here, as you saw that horrible sausage curve on the inside. You've got to be careful when they hit that, as we've got to beat Alex Rins 36.3 does Mayo. Be right up there. Doesn't seem like the brakes improvements working really. I guess he is not locking up, but going wide everywhere. Getting through that left hand. He actually got the major lift for that now. And just hit the curb on the inside and get on the power. Now Rowan's going to be all over the place at the end of the race. Very difficult to judge. As we go into the final sector now. Now apparently second up though. Not the best lap. He's been all over the place. But it looks like he's going to be close to that 36.3 at least. As he breaks himself by a country mile into the final corner. Does a 35.3. Does he stick or twist? So Mario sticked, and the gamble paid off as he was top again of qualifying one by 8 tenths of a second of Alex Rins. Raul Batista, Danny Pedrosa missing out. Oh, Spargro. Even further down, right at the back, you got Simeon, Luti, and Abraham. So let's see if Mayo can grab his first MotoGP pole. As I seen the problem for Mayo in that first qualifying stage, just outbrake himself everywhere. Trying to use that engine braking, but already way past the corner to take advantage of it. Let's see what he can do in 2 laps once again in qualifying 2. This might be the trend for the season. 1 lap for Q1, 2 for Q2. So used to being the other way around with the other McDonald's, but Mario right on it at this MotoGP level. He's picking up Apex, is beautiful on this lap. It's almost hit the sausage curve on the inside, a bit apprehensive getting on the power for the back straight, but apparently it's not a personal best. It's 3.5 tenths up on Rossi. And now he has outbraked himself by a country mile at the end of the back straight. Once again trying to break too deep into a couple of corners, but he's much better through the left hand. The rear end trying to slide out a bit. A bit wider through the right. It's almost down sideways. He's gaining all the time on the rider in front. Is that his teammate Petrucci? Or Jack Miller? It's about he's 8 tenths up, Mario. Once again flying in qualifying. There is his teammate in front. Let's go for the final set. 34.1. A second quicker than Rossi. He gets a set shoe off his teammate who's blocking him. You're blocking the pole sitter, son. I know if that's Petrucci, I don't blame him after Qatar. Where a chance of a podium for the Italian, Mayo just chucked it away. He's been leading away with Premac. Yes, now he's a quarter of a second up. This could be a 33. Especially as he messed up this corner. And this time he's hit it. Bit wide on the exit. Look at how he stood up. You're getting a bit wide on the exit again. And we kind of a bit too much speed into a couple of these corners still. At least he's hitting the apex. Is there who's too slow? But he's still just better than his opening lap as we go through the final couple of corners. With 3 minutes remaining. They're taking a bit of a wider line into that switchback. And it is better, 34 for that. This is just ridiculous. Pole by almost a second ahead of Rossi and Zarco, with Dovi leading the second ahead of Marquez and Vinales. Then it's Rins, Jack Miller in 8th, Vianoni, and Jorge Renzoli in the 4th ahead of Caracoccio and Danilo Petrucci. So Mario, he set up perfectly for the race. So here's Mario running out from pole for the first time in MotoGP. As he gets underway, bit sluggish. Not Dovi though, look at that, he's launched into the lead. That's the factory Ducati, Mario being swamped. Almost forced outside the top 10. Once again, not the best start as he gets to no Jorge. It's on the outside. And now he is back down to 10th. As he gets alongside Danilo. Look at Danilo trying to boost through. Oh, but Mario hooks it up beautifully to the apex, up into 8th. And look at it, it's the man to beat again is Dovi. After a brilliant start. Look at Marquez, up to 2nd, battling with Zarco. Has he got the Yamahas in front? Where you go, Mario? He's got a bit lost, hasn't he? Where he's going around this track. Oh, he gets onto the curb. Alongside Rins. 2 young guns in the MotoGP class. Very exciting prospects. As for Mario, shocker from pole. Down in 9th behind his teammate, Petrucci. Oh no, it gets by, sneaks by. Sneaks by Rossi as well as Mentor. Up into 7th. Trying to get by Jack Minnow was the top Premac. Oh, jackass. As he gets into the top 5, Mario. Now down the inside of Jorge. Not very happy about that. Mario on the attack from that final corner. Onto this back straight, looking for a podium. The start he needed to this lap. So here comes Jorge, last of the late breakers. And so Dovi gets overtaken by Marquez and Zarco. Mario being held up by Lorenzo, it looks like. Almost took to the grass there, did Mario. He nicks down the inside of Jorge. Can't find a way by the Spaniard. Oh, as he's stuck by, he's battling with the factory Ducatis again, is Mario. And look at Zarco, best Yamaha by a country mile and in 2nd. Same for Marquez, best Honda. Well, you expect him to be in the lead. And side by side with Dovi across the line. Now you're into 3rd on this 3rd lap. Marquez did the faster that though. 35 for that. It's now McDonald leads the Ducati charge. Got Jack Miller back for 7th over with Rossi. You know how Rossi and Vinales can come alive in the second half of race. We saw that with Rossi and Qatar. There's Lorenzo and Dovi battling behind. The Bramex of Petrucci and Miller battling for 8th. Joe's battling everywhere. There's Vinales in 4th behind. Where's Maverick come from? It's not even the second half of the race. Jumping the gun by a couple of laps. It's on now Lorenzo down to 7th. Once again, Mayo getting that left-hander all wrong. So he launched it down the inside of Vinales. He's taking down another rider. Bit of a dive as well. Will the stewards have a look at that? In Qatar it was Petrucci. In Argentina it's Maverick, as he's got Rossi, his mentor, behind him. I'm not sure if Rossi maybe had words with Mario for the race. You never know. Not saying Rossi holds all the power of Mario's career, but you know, he is part of the academy. Does help him quite a bit. Or is he not now? Because he's in MotoGP, isn't he? Oh, he got kicked off. Too good now. That's why that's a bit wide. Gone to the back straight. Look at Zarco battling like hell with Marquez. And Dovi with Rossi behind. Almost a second back. Very surprised to see those two dropping back a bit. It's Mayo almost into the back of the riders in front. May not look like it, but he had to run wide for a reason there. That's smoother through the left-hander. Much better. Once again, breaks so deep into that corner, so late. But lose it a bit on the exit, as you can see. So side by side, Marquez and Zarco. Here comes the third, though. No, next to the outside, so does Marquez, actually, of Zarco. As he approaches the second half of this race, is McDonald about to turn it up to 11. As he goes around the outside of Marquez, around the outside of Zarco. Surely that hasn't worked, not quite. Well, he's level with Marquez across the line, and again he's ahead of Zarco. He's got the run on the start-finish straight to take the lead. Well, MotoGP race for the first time. Zarco does not want to let go, though. You've got two fiery characters now, side by side for the lead. 3 of them as well, if you include Marquez. And so you go down the back straight. Here comes Ducati Bauer. No match for the Hondas or Yamahas, or is it? Honda and Yamahas did pretty well there. As Mayo outbreaks himself into the hairpin, Zarco holds on. At the midpoint of this race, once again, Mayo time. This race is hotting up to the second half. Next to the little look down the inside of Zarco, maybe a bit wary of what he did to Vinales before, so maybe a bit more cautious into that corner now. We've got old rivals of Lorenzo and Rossi battling over 5th. Old teammates. Not the best of teammates either. I think Mayo's about to find that as well with Petrucci. Maybe Miller. All over the back of Zarco, you're just knocking at the door. Once again gets a super launch. That final corner, it's not going to be good enough to the line on the final lap. He's got to remember that. So he wants to hold on to this lead and win this race. He's got to find a way past Zarco before then. As Jack Miller into the top 5 ahead of Rossi. He's on a year-old bike, Miller. What's he doing? Absolutely loves it around Argentina. Mayo into the lead, but now we've got the back straight. There's Bautista battling with Siren for 16th. Zarco just a 10th of a second behind. Where's Marquez? He's been sitting pretty quiet as Mark for a few laps now. Letting these two jostle for the lead. So he's just playing it safe, being smart, saving the tyres. So Enzo joining in that battle for 5th as well. And where's Dovi too? He seems to have dropped back, Dovi. Very surprising. And he took the lead before he could just control it like he did in Qatar. I mean, instead we've seen the rise of Mayo, the rise of Marquez and Zarco. I saw the Brits, Smith and Redding back down over 18th. Not where you expect to see them. This man with a 4/10 of a second lead. As he goes towards the final corner very cautiously. Zarco thinks he can dive down the inside. Mayo says no. Holds on to the lead as Marquez is right there still. Dovi a bit back. Now we've got that titanic battle for 5th as here comes Zarco launching it again. In the penultimate lap. They're saying get out of here. That's my tactics, not yours. There's a different ball game at MotoGP level. You're going to be pushed around maybe a bit more. You have to get your elbows out a bit sharper. And once again, a 10th ahead of Zarco. Here comes the Yamaha with the power, with the slipstream. Or not. No dive bomb from Zarco. So of course Marquez is now in the hunt again. Has Crutcho and Vinales are battling over 9th. Doesn't look like it, but Zarco again. Oh, he gets into McDonald's. Frenchman known as a rough customer. I'm not that rough normally. McDonald repels him. There's Lorenzo on the Fat Ducati. Battling Miller on the Pramac, but a year older. Absolutely amazing from the Australian as we approach the final lap of what has been a fiery race. Zarco's really got into it with McDonald. Mayo's held on. With 1 lap to go, he could win it. He's a second ahead. He's on the fastest lap, 34.7. I think he's got a hold of tyre wear at this level. Absolutely brilliant riding. The Pramac man, he's not skipped a beat from Moto2 to MotoGP. In fact, he looks even more comfortable on a MotoGP bike than he ever looked on a Moto2 bike. Now Scott Redding and Brad is just still battling over 18th. You come to the end of the straight. So easy to outbrake yourself. You saw the struggles in qualifying. Nailed in these braking zones. Nailed in the whole of that. Getting it together. The neck at Mayo. 7/10 of Zarco. Looking comfortable. As this race goes on. Looking even more comfortable now. After another dodgy start. That's the one thing he's got to look at. Oh no, so punting riders. But even though this did battle back to the top 10, this is the second head of Zarco, just 1 straight and a couple corners to go. Will we see a Zarco dive bomb? We don't. It's Luti and Abraham battle over 20 seconds. There's none of the concern for Mayo as he wins the MotoGP cars for the first time in just his second race. He's the man to catch. He's just a rookie as he won by 1.2 seconds ahead of Zarco with Marquez rounding out the podium for Honda. What a comeback after Qatar for the Spaniard, with Dovi in 4th, Lorenzo in 5th. Disappointing outings maybe for them. Maybe expected a bit more. With Miller in 6th, superb outing from him though. Then Rossi, Petrucci, Vinales recovered to 9th, winning that battle ahead of Crutcho, almost getting into the top 5, just a second off it. With Vinales in 11th, Iannone behind his teammate. Then Paul Espargaro for KTM getting some solid points ahead of Pedrosa. And Tito Rabat for Vintia, 7/10 ahead of Alvaro Baptista for the Jorge Angel Nieto team, should I say. And then looking further back, the other Tech 3 down in 17th. Scott running around at the top 20 for Priya, once again ahead of Alicia Spargo. You don't often say that or expect that, but isn't it 2 out of 2 now this season with Nakagami at the back on the LCR Honda. So in the championship, Mario leads by 7 points ahead of Dovi, 12 points ahead of Zarco, then 20 points ahead of Marquez, who's into 4th ahead of Rossi, his mentor, down to 5th. Had a big mover in the top 10, Lorenzo up to 7th. And Middle up into the top 10, rounding out ahead of Danny Pedrosa. Just looking further down, we've got Tito Rabat with his first point of the season up to 15th level on points with Baptista. And so Happy Siren now the best of the non-point scores in 17th. Franco Morbidelli up to 21st, and Sabio Simon getting the wooden spoon at the moment. As in the constructors standing, Shikati 2 from 2. 14 points ahead of Yamaha with Honda up to 3rd ahead of Suzuki. KTM, we won't talk about Aprilia. In the team championship, Pramac at the top. Just like UE expected at the beginning of the season. 18 points ahead of Ducati. Other mover, Tech 3 ahead of Suzuki for 5th. And McDonald almost to that first rider status already. As he's got a lot to develop once again, another upgrade coming. As in Moto2, Alex Marquez beat Baldassarri and Bagnaia to the victory, while in Moto3 it was Martin ahead of Bezzecchi and Bastianini. So I was saying this one thing we've got to do, as this has been the level for quite a while now. It might be time to go back to Extreme, as that was the level we were at before patch a few months ago, which adjusted the difficulty of the opponents, made it a bit tougher. But MotoGP level, Mario, he's at another level. And we'll see how he does next time against some more difficult opponents as we head to America. And the circuit of the Americas, a fast flowing circuit for the most part, with a very tricky middle sector where we expect to go side by side all the way around. Will he meet Zarco? Will he meet Lorenzo or Dovi? Will he punt Vinales or Petrucci next time? Found out then. So for watching, and I'll see you next time.